absolutely anything. The film is about a guy called Neil Clark, who is a sort of a teacher who's a bit down on his luck, a bit downtrodden. He's got pretensions of being a writer, of a sort of literary figure. He's not either of those things. And but then, by some weird chance, he is given the power to do anything by a sort of conglomerate of aliens who decide to just give one person all power. And he then goes on to make a series of dreadful mistakes, and it's kind of about how Neil deals with this this massive and ungainly power that he has. Neil is he's an English teacher. He's a bit of an underachiever. He's sort of settled into a life which he's not really doing anything to get out of, even though he has great aspirations of being like a respected author and of being attached to the girl who lives downstairs, played by Kate Beckinsale, Catherine. And but he doesn't do himself any favors. He's sort of coasting along, and it is only when he falls off his bike and is zapped by these aliens and given this power that his life begins to change, but not necessarily for the better, because he isn't the brightest sort of guy, and he realizes through trial and error that he has to be very literal with his commands when it comes to using this power, because otherwise terrible things happen. He manages to reanimate every corpse. Everyone that ever died. He turns the earth into a ball of ice. It's just a series of catastrophic mistakes. So he sort of has to learn about the responsibility that comes with great power. The big draw for me was a chance to work with some of my comic heroes or comedy heroes. And, I grew up as a great fan of Monty Python, and I've met Terry a few times. And the chance to work with your heroes is something that is always very welcome. So I read the script, and it was funny, and I thought, yeah, let's do this. I didn't really do any research. I have a friend who's an English teacher, and so I looked at him from a distance through some binoculars, and then I thought about my school days, and I thought about my English teacher, and then I thought about what it would be like if you were given power to do anything, and then I came to work. No, because this script has been around for a lot longer than me, I think. This script has been around. I think that initially they were coming up with this idea around about the time Bruce Almighty came out, which dealt with a similar kind of conceit of, albeit, this is a secular version of that story of the man given all power. So they kind of put it away in a drawer, and I think Terry offered it to me a few years ago, and I turned it down, not because I didn't want to do it, because I was developing a script with Nick Frost that was similar in terms of it being about an ordinary person who is suddenly given an extraordinary ability. And so I had to sort of say, I can't do this because I'm working on something similar at the moment. But then that idea, Nick and I kind of moved on from. So when I saw Terry again recently at the screening of the Graham Chapman movie that Bill and Ben produced, he then called me again and said, hey, would you like to do this now? And I kind of went, yes. So, yeah, I guess it was just a happy accident, really. It's nice. The difference is, I sleep in my own bed. I mean, every film set, be it a gigantic blockbuster or a low-budget indie film, the microcosm that you work in is pretty much the same. It's still a film crew and lights and the director and the first AD, and it doesn't really alter that much. I mean, maybe the props change, the resources change, but the big difference is simply that I get to go home to my family at the end of the night, which is lovely because this job often takes you away. And last year I did about 128,000 air miles last year, and I was in every continent. I was in 5 continents last year. And this year, everything I'm doing seems to be here, not only just here in the UK, but here in London, which is extraordinary. So I'm doing sort of 4 movies this year, and they're all here, which is a result. And this is one of them.
もしも右手を振るだけでどんな願いも叶うとしたら
Dennis, be able to talk.
I wouldn't mind shagging your leg right now.
愛犬を喋らせちゃった。イギリス中が爆笑の渦。
Let everybody in the world have as much food as they want.
超豪華コメディスター奇跡の共演。ミラクルパワーで世界を救え。
What are you going to do?
ミラクルニール。
Give me the body of a great man.